is going on YouTube? Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Today we're back here to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry, I took the day off yesterday. I was trying to figure out some things on my setup. I changed the camera angle. It's closer. It looks cleaner in my opinion. I changed some settings on it too. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I also changed some settings on my mic. So if you guys have any advices or feedback on that too, that would be amazing. So yeah, today we're here to talk about the Habs, and we're here to talk about Hughes, because usually we talk about players, we talk about coach, but we never really talk about the GM himself. And today we're going to talk about the fact that Hughes might be in trouble. And no, he hasn't done anything wrong. No, he's not in trouble with the police and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that with the way things are going right now for the Montreal Canadiens, he could have a lot of troubles into making trades at the trade deadline. I mean, when you look at the injury list for the Montreal Canadiens, there's a lot of players that were supposed to get traded at the trade deadline in Sean Monahan, Jonathan Drouin, Joel Armia possibly. They're all injured, so other teams can't watch them play and they can't really get their value up. And my question is Hughes even going to be able to make a trade happen at the trade deadline? Because the main guy that we wanted to trade at the trade deadline is Sean Monahan. And yes, there have been a lot of rumors linking him to the Boston Bruins and the Colorado Avalanche. But he's not playing. He got a broken foot at the end of the month of November. He played 3 weeks with the broken foot. And since he played with the broken foot, the unbalance that he creates, it turned out to injure one of his hips. So that's not good, because we know it's historic with the hips injuries, and apparently that's what's wrong right now with Sean Monahan, and that's not really good. It's not looking good. He was supposed to come back in the New York trip when the Montreal Canadiens faced the Islanders and the Rangers. That's when he was supposed to come back at first, but he's not 100% yet, and we still have no dates for his return. So it's going to be difficult to trade Sean Monahan if he doesn't come back before the trade deadline. Yes, he's supposed to come back after the All-Star break, but if something goes wrong with his injury, the Canadiens might be in trouble and they won't be able to trade him. But personally, I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to play a couple of games, and I think he's going to be traded right away almost. So if Sean Monahan gets traded, it's going to happen real quick and real soon. So that's the first guy. Jonathan Drouin was starting to play a lot better for the Canadiens, and he got injured. He's supposed to come back after the All-Star break, and you know, Jonathan Drouin, it's all in his head. It's a mental thing. When he will come back, I don't know if he's going to play as good as when before he was injured. So yeah, if Jonathan Drouin would have continue to play like that, if it would have been healthy, I'm sure that some teams would have been interested in getting Drouin. But if he comes back and he restarts playing poorly, it's going to be really, really difficult for Hughes to trade him away. The other guys that could be good trade bait are Mike Hoffman, Evgeny Dadonov, Joel Edmondson, Josh Anderson. The Canadiens have said multiple times that they don't want to trade Josh Anderson. Renaud Lavoie and Pierre Lebrun said multiple times that the most likely player to get traded is Joel Edmondson. There's a lot of teams that are interested, but the way he's been playing recently, I doubt that the Canadiens will be able to land a first-round pick for Joel Edmondson like they did with Ben Sherratt last year. The Edmonton Oilers, teams like that are apparently interested in him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded for a B-tier prospect or a second-round pick, but nothing more than that, that's for sure. As for Mike Hoffman's been playing absolutely terrible, so personally, I don't think that any team will call for Mike Hoffman, so that's a no for that, that's for sure. Josh Anderson, like I said, the Habs apparently don't want to trade him. He's probably the player that has the most value right now in the trade market, other than the young guys, Caulfield, Suzuki, Goulet, Jacky, and all of those guys. And we know that the young guys are not going to get traded, so that's interesting for sure. Jake Allen, there's some people that suggested the Canadiens to trade Jake Allen. It could be a decent idea, trading him to a team that don't have a second option in net. to get experience also in the locker room, but I don't think it's gonna happen. The Canadiens signed him at the start of the year, and I do think that they still have a lot of trust in Jake Allen, even though he hasn't played really well for the team this year. I think he's gonna stay with the Habs. Will he get traded in his last year of his contract? Probably, because he's not the goalie of the future for the Montreal Canadiens, but I think it's unlikely for him to get traded this year. And Yevgeny Dadonov, even though he's been playing a lot better recently, I really doubt that any teams will call for him. And if they do, it's going to be a 5th or 4th or 3rd round pick at max, so not any good returns. So yeah, Hughes might be struggling to make some trades happen at the trade deadline. It sucks because we were all waiting for the trade deadline, but the injuries all came to a really bad moment. Joel Armia could have been a decent trade bait as well, but he's injured. So yeah, all those injuries happen at the worst time right before the trade deadline. I hope they will all come back fast, and I hope that they will perform good, so teams will get interest for those players. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think. Me personally, I would trade Anderson and Edmondson just to get the most out of their values. Yes, Josh Anderson's a good player. Yes, he would be perfect to keep in a rebuild, a bit like the Rangers did with Chris Kreider. They're the same type of player, and in a couple of years, they could be really useful in a run for a Stanley Cup, in the playoffs, or even just in the regular season. But what makes me doubt about keeping Josh Anderson is age. He's 28 years old. When the Canadiens will start to compete again, we can all agree that it's not going to be in 2 or 3 years. It's more going to be in 4 or 5. Josh Anderson will be 32, 33, maybe even 34, and it's really not useful to have a player like him at that age, because the way he plays is really hard for his body. So he's probably going to retire early in the National Hockey League. He plays fast. He has a lot of historic with injuries, with shoulders injuries. So I definitely do think that the best move to do right now for Josh Anderson, even though I really like the player and I think that he could be useful in the future, is to max out his value and trade him when it's at his highest, and that is right now. He's playing really well, and I think that a lot of teams could trade for the guy. Maybe get a 1st round pick and a prospect. Maybe you can get Jacob Pelletier and a 1st round pick from the Calgary Flames, like I've talked in a video. If you add up a B tier prospect like Riley Kidney or someone like that with Josh Anderson, with Strobel, because we have a lot of defenseman prospects. So there's a lot of things that can happen, but the situation right now with the Canadiens certainly makes things difficult for Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens management. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think about this in the comments below. It's been your boy Tropical Habs. I'll see y'all later tonight for another video. I'm going to make a review for the game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. It's going to be a really difficult game. I mean, the Boston Bruins have lost like 5 games in regular time this year and regulation, so it's going to be difficult. I doubt that the Canadiens will make the Bruins lose their 6th regulation game, so it's going to be difficult. I doubt that the Canadiens will take that one. They want to get the Maple Leafs, that's for sure, but the Boston Bruins are on an all other level, so I'm going to predict a 4-0 win for the Boston Bruins. I doubt that the Canadiens are even going to score 1 goal, so 4-0 for the Bruins. Give me your predictions in the comments below for that game as well, and if you watch the entirety of the video, leave a comment so I can know leave Rampant Lick is a superstar, and like that I'll know that you watched the entire video. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think about this in the comments below. Like I said, it's been your boy Tropical Habs. Subscribe, like, share, all of that, comment, blah blah blah, and I'll see y'all later tonight for another video. Bye bye.